Hi, welcome back to our course. This is our second session, and in this session we are going to develop a program. Here is our first problem. Develop a program to display the message, "Hi, welcome to computer programming." So simple, isn't it? But note that this is the program every programmer will develop first. The idea for such a small and simple program is not to scare you with many things in the first exercise itself. Generally, there are four steps in every program development. Analyze. We will analyze the problem and understand first. As part of analysis, we will also find the solution in this step. Design. We will design the user interfaces in this step. Develop. We will develop and implement the solution. Test. The developed solution will be tested to make sure that it works as expected. Okay, let us analyze our first problem. The problem is develop a program to display the message, "Hi, welcome to computer programming." As part of analysis, we need to understand the problem and find the following pieces of information: input, process, and output. The above three pieces of information are very important for every computer program. Now, let's see. What is input? Input is nothing but something you feed in. What is process? Process is how you manipulate the input. What is output? Output is the expected result. Let us take a simple example from our daily life. Say you want to prepare a cup of coffee. Do you see the pieces now? What is input? Water, sugar, milk, and coffee powder. What is process? Lighting the stove, boiling the water with the coffee powder, and mixing it with sugar and milk. What is output? It is the coffee. Wow, very simple, isn't it? Yeah, it is really simple because you know already how to prepare a cup of coffee, at least theoretically. Now let us take another problem. Prepare fried chicken noodles for 3 people. Do you know how to make fried chicken noodles? Unless otherwise you are a cook. I really doubt it. But let's not worry about this problem now. The key point what I wanted to highlight here is it is important that you should know first how to solve your problem. What if you don't know? Like fried chicken noodles? The answer is understand the problem by analyzing it thoroughly by asking all the 6 WH questions and know exactly how to do it, and do it by yourself before you go to step 2. In computer programming, if you are skipping the step 1, that is analyzing, I tell you, you are inviting problems. Okay, let's analyze our first problem now. What was that? It was develop a program to display the message, "Hi, welcome to computer programming." So what are we supposed to do here? We are expected to display a message. Here display means show it on the computer monitor. So we need to show the message, "Hi, welcome to computer programming" on the monitor. Okay. Next, those 3 pieces: input, process, and output. Though the sequence is input, process, and output, I always start from the last, that is output. Okay. So let us see what is the output that is expected to come out of this program. Yes, you are right. The output is the message. What is the message? "Hi, welcome to computer programming." Now, this is what you need to ask by yourself. Is there any confusing points or parts in the output? I mean the message? Check once again. Nothing confusing. It's a simple message. Good. Let us move on and conclude that the output is simply an English sentence a collection of characters or words. In computer programming, the collection of characters is called a string. Okay, next is process. Let me ask you one question. Did you do anything to get this message out? Did you manipulate or do any calculation to get this message? No, not at all. So what does this mean? There is no process required for this program. Okay. Lastly, the input. The question to ask now is, did you look for anything to display the message? Did you read anything from your book to display the message? Did you ask anything about anything to display the message? No, never. You didn't do anything. Therefore, there is no input for this program. So the conclusion is, for this problem, only output, no process and no input. Wonderful. We have completed the first part of our program development. Let us move on to the next step. What is next? Do you remember? I think it is... Oh, you are right. It is designing. What is designing? Designing is the process of planning how our program will look to the user when he sees it. To start with, we will take a simple example. The calculator program that comes with Windows. This program allows you to type the numbers and the operation you want to do, addition or subtraction, and displays the result. See how the program looks like. In computer terminology, this is also known as user interface, UI. Since we are using Windows, let me add one more point about the user interface. Our program should follow Windows standards. Okay. Now let us see what we should do in our first program. The output, the message, "Hi, welcome to computer programming." Windows standards, a small window space with frame, title bar, title, application, minimize and close buttons on the title bar. Another button to allow the user to close the program. Here we go. Is it okay? Is the design fine? Now I suppose we can proceed to the next step, that is development. Fine, we are almost there. In fact, development has two steps. They are coding. We need to develop the logic first, how the program is going to act when something happens. Development. Development of the program by implementing the design and the code. It is always better to develop the logic first on the paper. This means you should not start developing the program on the computer without planning the logic behind the UI. Now let us think what kind of logic is required for our first program. Let us revisit the UI and think again. Look at the right side. What is this program supposed to do? It should display the given message. It should close the program when the close button is clicked. Simply speaking, the logic is this. Set up the message as part of the UI design. Close the program or application when the close button is clicked by the user. Good. Now we have come to the second stage of development, that is creating the program. As I have already mentioned, we will be developing this program using Visual Basic. In our next session, I will directly develop the program in Visual Basic and also test it. Very important point is, you are expected to replicate this exercise on your own without fail. Okay, let's move on to the next lesson. See you.